baby. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Banya. Super excited today. Of course, we got Dana with us, and we've got Coach Greywolf here, John Cabay.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Welcome.
Thanks for having me in the Banya.
Welcome to the only podcast brought to you from a
This is
hot
a
sauna.
cool idea, man. I mean, when you told me that the other day, I was like, man, nobody's doing this, so let's go. Let's get it.
I still can't find anybody that does it. You know, there's just guys like talking about the benefits, health benefits of saunas and stuff. That's their whole thing. But
Yeah.
I haven't found anybody that's parked their keisters in the sauna and
So
smoking.
it's a super cool idea, man. And I'm happy to be on the show.
Yeah. Well, before we get rolling too far, let's get a temperature reading for you if we could.
We're at 171, I believe.
Nice.
Yeah,
Not hot.
we got this thing spicy for the wolf, man.
I was kind of wondering if you guys were gonna do that because I've noticed like you kind of warm up during the pod to start, and then you're like, what? But I was like, they're gonna probably crank it up.
This is more fun.
Yeah.
We'll
let's
get
go.
20 minutes in and we'll throw some steam or some water on the rocks too, and that'll really get it cooking.
All right. Cool.
Boom. Well, what's up with you, man? A guy that doesn't need a ton of intro, and I'm not the guy to do it. But everybody knows what's going on with, or who you are, excuse me. But jump in with what you got.
Well, this year has definitely posed some challenges for me. The gym's doing amazingly well, which is a blessing. But I had an injury this year, and I wasn't able to compete at all in 2024, which is really kind of a mind fuck in a lot of ways. So what's been going on with me lately is I've been dedicating myself to getting healthy for competition, which has been going great. I've been working. We'll get a couple shout outs here. I've been working 2 days a week with Dr. Greg McClarty at Control Physical Therapy.
All right.
The guy's a stud. He's a Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and so he does physical therapy in a way that's for a Jiu-Jitsu person, and to kind of dial it in for you. He'll have you do Jiu-Jitsu movements, wearing things like these blood flow restriction cuffs, which I'm starting to hate, but I love them because they're so good for you. So that's been going well, and then I just started working with Wadis. Wadis owns Unfair Advantage, and him and Greg have partnered up recently. And Wadis is a genius when it comes to all things physiology, kinesiology, and nutrition. I mean, the guy is just a wizard. And so
Are they all on the east side?
yeah, they're over kind of right off the 101. It's like 5th Street. So it's it's a little bit of a drive,
Yeah.
but I'll drive for quality care, and those guys are, man, they're top notch. So
For sure. Yeah, Vinny was just talking about he drives all the way to Gilbert for his doctor because he's a purple belt, and that makes all the difference. Like he
I know him too, Neil. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so like just the advice is gold versus when you walk in and see a healthcare provider that doesn't take care of themselves.
Yep.
And then they start giving you advice. It's very painful to swallow that.
Well, for jiu-jitsu people, if you go to a traditional doctor and say, "Hey, man, I've got an injury," they're going to tell you, "Well, you should stop doing jiu-jitsu."
Right. Yep.
Right? Yeah.
or they're going to say you need surgery because a lot of doctors, that's how they make their money. But going to somebody who knows what we do and how we do it, it's awesome because they can fix you in a way that's specific, or maybe some of the imbalances that you've had, and these guys are way smarter than me when it comes to it. But I know that, so I'm 51 and I've done pretty well on my own with just my own kind of research and knowledge, right? I've held myself together. But now, just in this past year, I've started to notice some things that don't seem to go as kind of smooth as I'd like. So I'm gonna get professional help, and these guys are
Top
the
notch,
best of the best when it comes to it. So,
Well, and you can't put a price on your health either.
no, it's invaluable, man. It's you don't think about it or worry about it until you have a problem with it, And that was me this past year with an injury training for Master Worlds, which took me out of the competition this year, but. I got big goals for 2025, so we're working hard to get healthy, and I want to compete as much as I possibly can 2025. and just get back into it, man.
Yeah.
Get after it.
Oh yeah.
Selfishly, I've already in text invited you to the 6 a.m. class. But
Yep.
I think, you know, we're going to take care of you even if you're hurt. We'll take it easy on you. You know what I mean?
I'm coming in. When I come in, I'm going to be ready to roll with everybody, and I don't want anybody taking it easy on me.
No, all right. Well, okay. That aside, but also, man, for your mental health, I think we're gonna take care of you down in there, man.
I know.
It's the best. Some of the, sorry, evening people, but man, I'm a morning guy, and it's all good.
It's a special group of people, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's so crazy how, I've noticed this at other gyms, but now, seeing it from the inside out, you have the 6 a.m. crew, which is, just such a solid group of people. But then you also have the 10 a.m. crew, different group of people, equally as solid in a different way. And then you got the evening crew. But what's nice about what we have is it doesn't seem cliquey. You know what I mean? It's not
not
us
all.
against them or whatever. Like, everybody's still just in it for the community and
sure.
to, it feels like, what my vision was to have a space where we could all just get better at jiu-jitsu together. You know what I mean? And everybody's mindset is that I want to get better, you want to get better, and I don't care about any of that. I don't care what you do for a living or what kind of car you drive or where you work or whatever. Like, do you want to learn jiu-jitsu? I want to learn jiu-jitsu. Let's get better. Mm-hmm. And that seems like what we have.
Yeah, you nailed that for sure. But beyond, I mean, it's more than that though. It's just like it's a place where we can connect, and for. Personally, like my story, like 10 years, I just delved into work, and it was in a very specific warehouse type space. And I, going away from like wrestling, which was a brotherhood, I lost that connection, and it exists at Greywolf, and I mean it's a family, dude, and there's literally nobody in that 6 a.m. class that I wouldn't hand my daughter off to.
Man,
you know what I mean, to take care of.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because there's something about the trust associated with what you get when you train jiu-jitsu with somebody. Like, you bond with them so fast, and like, this person's taking care of me, I'm taking care of them, so I get what that is. So it's awesome. Yeah. And it's not, if you've come from a wrestling background, you know what that's like, that brotherhood, that sisterhood, that like grind through, like we're all in this together kind of thing. But a lot of people never had that before. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then they come into jiu-jitsu and they're like, whoa, what is this culture?
Yeah.
It's it's different.
Did you say culture?
Yeah, I did say culture. It's a little culty. It's a little culty for sure.
Yeah.
I joke sometimes too. I got this from my friend Shadrack at Conwood, but it's like someone will come in and they'll be like, kind of a little apprehensive. I'm like, dude, just join the cult, bro. Let's go. I mean,
Right. Yeah. Come on. So how did you compare the Gracie versus our gym to Nando?
Oh man.
It was like the different, like, you're just practicing jiu-jitsu, come join our cult, basically it was that.
I'm not gonna speak negatively on anybody, but we're doing a little differently than
for sure. And we had this conversation, like what they do really, they excel in certain areas.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's like everybody does it differently, and some people are better at certain things, and we have at our gym something amazing, and it and you've got holes in your game too.
100%.
Like, your kids program, I'm gonna be mean to you right now.
It's
like,
pretty weak.
I would love to ship Ollie and Everett over there, but they just there's nobody there that can handle them right now.
There's not enough bodies in the program, and we haven't gotten enough kind of flow with the consistent students coming in and to really kind of build it up. But I haven't really put much effort into it, so I get it. You're right.
Yeah, you got to plug in the correct coach that wants to run that program and has that gear in them, because I don't have that gear.
It's a lot to deal with those kids, man.
And I think I know you don't have that gear.
I used to have that gear, bro. When I was in my former life, I had it. I lost it somewhere along the way, man, and it's just it's the kids are hard. They're tough, so. But you're right, man. But that's that that potential for growth. The kids program. If the kids program was the same numbers as the adult program, I mean, that would be amazing. So, and we could do that. It's just
it doesn't happen overnight, and it's gonna suck. You're gonna be paying a coach to build it.
Yep.
The numbers aren't gonna be there for a minute. But
yep,
they'd get there for sure. And I mean, so. like a lot of parents have a problem in the summertime.
Yeah.
So their kids are off school. And
Yeah.
so like what we do right now with our daughter is we send her to karate camp.
Oh, okay.
And they take care of her. It's a beautiful place. It's, you know, it's all
out
good.
of state. It's like
She loves it. She gets to play with her friends all day. No, it's karate.
oh, it's just here in town.
Yeah, it's PD
okay.
karate right across the street.
Oh, okay.
So
I've heard good things about that.
yeah, no,
place,
it's great. So my point is like that would be a great business model and also help parents. Like parents are willing to pay to get their kids, you know.
Yeah.
It's good for the kids and
Yeah.
like parents need to work, you know. So like a summer program, like they go to the pool, they do, you know, stuff like that. So it's a little more complicated, but that would be huge for, you know, a lot of the dads.
Yeah, that's a good point. One of the hard things for the kids program is you know, jiu-jitsu is hard, even if you're a kid. Right? It's a very challenging thing, physically, you know, mentally, and sometimes emotionally. And when you're a kid and you're growing, you know, you get your ass handed to you by a girl, you know, who's maybe, you know, even smaller than you, it's hard to take. And I wish sometimes, and this is maybe like a, you know, something more for the parents. It's like, you know, you don't want to force your kids to do anything, but to discourage them from quitting things that are hard is extremely beneficial to them in the long run, you know. But it's tough because that's the world we live in these days is not necessarily like that as much anymore. You know, they kind of let kids decide more. So
I learned that as a kid as well. In high school, I was my senior year ready to just be done with lacrosse. I was over it, wanted to just hang with my friends and party and whatever. And that was one of the things they said is, you've done this for so long, stick with it, do this year, finish it out. I'm super happy I did, but just the motivation or pushing to not quit, it's huge.
It can develop a habit of quitting. You know, if you get used to it, it's something that you can carry on later in life, and that's not a good thing. You know, you got to do hard things all the time to get better at whatever you're doing. You know, I think, but that's something more for the parents, you know, than the kids sometimes. But you know, we'll see.
Yeah, no, if my dad had ever asked me, which he never did, I would have quit wrestling 7,000 different times. But it's like, it's one of those things, like, jiu-jitsu is the same exact thing. Like, even when you're doing it, you're like, man, this is tough, but it's the best thing for you. 100%.
It is, but it's really challenging. You know, it's obviously physically, you know, demanding, but it's a mental game, and it's hard to get humbled like that over and over and over again. But if you have what you know, the intestinal fortitude to deal with that, it just makes everything in your life better. It just does. You know, if you do jiu-jitsu for a long period of time, you know, I say this a lot, but the obvious things, the givens, is you're gonna get in the best shape of your life if you eat healthy, right? And you're gonna learn how to defend yourself in a fight if that's what you're looking for. But those are just, that's a given. You know, it's all the other stuff that comes along with it. You know, the culture, the community, the confidence, all you know, stuff that you know, a lot of martial arts will give you. But no, I think jiu-jitsu is a little different, man. In a I don't know. It's hard to put an actual you know,
I mean, people
on
that do it understand.
People that do understand.
For people that don't, it's hard to explain that addiction / like it's like a masochistic kind of, you know, it's like. But Dana, hit him with our freaking saying.
Our motto here: you're gonna choose your heart, otherwise life is gonna choose it for you.
Love it.
We stole that from someone, so take it easy.
I love it.
It's my favorite saying. It's like, life's gonna suck either way.
Yeah,
like, you choose to suck.
Okay? It's so true though, man. I mean, if you do hard things, you're going to improve your life. Period. You know, if you don't, and it's so easy to get lazy in society these days because you don't have to leave your house anymore if you don't want to. You know, when I was pretty sick for that kind of flu bug that was going around, right? And I'd never really done like delivery of groceries before or stuff like that, but I did while I was in there, and I was like, man, like I haven't left my house in like 5 days, and that's so unusual.
It's hard on you. I mean, even just getting outside a little bit, like I was, you know, knocked out for like a week too with that same kind of bug, and I had to force myself to go just take a walk outside for 20 minutes while I felt like, you know, death. And I mean, did it help? Probably. I can't say for sure, but it's just good to get out.
So it's good to push yourself, man, mentally, physically, and I think, you know, jiu-jitsu is also it can be emotionally challenging sometimes, you know. I mean, I've cried on the mats. I've cried after class. I've cried, you know, just because it could, you know, it's such a pure and honest endeavor. I think that's one of the things I love about it is there's no bullshit when you slap hands in jiu-jitsu with somebody, you know. It's like
your soul is on the line.
It's just, yeah, man. There's nobody cares about anything else. It's just it's very pure, and it's one of the few things I think that I've found that checks a lot of boxes.
Yeah.
You know, so
totally. And you know, it's not for everybody, but you know, it's for anybody.
I love that saying. I'm glad you say that. Yeah. Because anybody can do jiu-jitsu. If you look around, you know, our classes.
Oh.
You know,
wild.
I'm not gonna throw any names out there, but man, there's some people that you know when you meet them, you're like, I don't know if this person's really gonna stick. But then, boom, they're all in, and they.
Can you throw some names out there?
Well, okay, let's
With
use
love. It's all.
let's use Joshua from the morning class, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, that dude's lost like what 200 pounds and changed his whole life around and loves it, dude. Like,
So there was another guy that started with Joshua. Hope you come back, buddy. But yeah, it was like they were in the same boat.
yeah,
2 guys, just same age, just massively overweight, and like Josh is doing it.
he's doing it, man. He looks great. You know, you could see it in his eyes too, man. He's like, you know, and those stories are really what's more inspiring to me than any. I love you know the super athletes that come in and they you know they want to compete all the time. That's great. I love that too. But the middle-aged housewife who like you know just becomes a savage, Nancy, there's still Nancy out there, right? I mean, how could you not throw her name in the hat, bro? Like, and her story is so funny, man. You know, I love Nancy and Daniel. They're amazing people, but Nancy would just come in and like watch class for a long time and really just, you know, I would always try to say hi to her. Sometimes not, because you couldn't tell if she wanted anybody to say hi to her. But one day she's just like, "I'm ready to go, coach. Let's sign me up," and she's been on the gas ever since.
Yeah, 2 a days, doing everything.
Yeah. Which is awesome, man. You know, that stuff. When you see people improve their lives because they're getting healthy, they're learning, you know, martial arts, self-defense, or part of a good community, it feels good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
feels good.
Well, I mean, it's a culture you built with the gym, and I'm sure you've taken that from other culture you've seen, but it's all stemmed from you.
Well,
And all we can do is just keep propagating that with all the new people that come in and hope that it continues to stick. So it's amazing.
I appreciate you guys saying that. I may have started it, but we have cultivated it. We have made it into this thing. And I think, you know, it does kind of come from the top, like any organization, right? But when I brought new people in, you know, when I first met with you, Dana, and you know, I always kind of said the same thing. It was like, hey, man, like when new people sign up, make sure that you remember how we took care of you guys when you guys were new, right? Don't just hammer them into the ground.
Right.
Show them that this is real, but also show them that you care about them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's like you know, some of the gyms that I was a part of on the come up maybe didn't have that as much. You know, they were just like kind of wanted to come in there and just kind of murder you.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I like that part of it, but without the like the lovey-dovey part of it, man. Well, I'm a hippie. Like, if I don't feel any good vibes from you, then I don't want to just like get murdered by you. You know?
Yeah.
So, anyways, but we had a great culture. So.
For sure.
Do you remember? I've told this story on the pod. When I walked in on the Saturday, you were dealing with a guy.
Was it the big wrestler guy?
I don't know. I didn't know. I showed up and he was throwing his tantrum, and you were kind of like in the exchange.
Yeah.
I
kind of don't remember that part. I kind of.
You gave me your business card.
It's happened a few times. You know?
Yeah, like he just tapped a pressure type of a thing, and he was pissed. You know, so
that's what I mean. That, like, dude, you know, a lot of people just can't handle that, man. It's if you can check yourself and go, man, you know, I'm gonna get better at life if I learn this.
Yeah.
You're gonna get better at life, but a lot of people can't, and you know. But I honestly I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
It's stored in my brain as a very funny situation.
I remember you though. I remember going through my spiel with you because I had it down pretty good, and you were just stoic. Like, you just kind of didn't really say much or give me much, and usually I try to like drop it out with like some questions.
Right.
But then like when I went to the end, I'm like, well, so what do you think? You're just like, hand me your credit card.
Let's go, baby.
The
sweat on the walls did it for me, dude. I was just like, take my money.
Yeah, we were grinding in there.
Yeah, dude, it was, summer. But yeah, no, I just, I didn't. This has changed about my personality since then, but I didn't want to be that guy that was like, because I would have presented it poorly. I like, oh, I'm a wrestler, you know, like
yeah, for sure. You're real humble about it. I brag on you when you're not around. I'm not going to say anything nice to you now because you talk shit to your face, but. You know, but you have some accolades, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you've done some big things, and I know you're real humble about it, but you have quite a grappling pedigree. So,
well, I've said this already. Like, nobody really cares.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, they want a good person in their life.
Exactly.
And you can do all the great shit on planet Earth, but if you're a piece of shit,
that's true. Yeah.
Nobody wants to be around you, and you're miserable. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, and that's it's an interesting mindset, the competitor's mindset versus the coach's mindset. Because I still love to compete. I have some big, some plans to do some big things in competition still. But it's a selfish mindset. Yeah. It's not a giving mindset as much. But at the same time, I think there's a balance that can be found in there. And also, people like to see their coaches compete. You know, when Brendan competes, Vinny competes. When I compete, it's cool. So everybody gets fired up. You know, and
it doesned matter if you get demolished. Like, it's so fun to see those people mix it up. You know?
Yeah, it's cool.
Watching Brendan take a headbutt to the face,
to the nose.
Right to the nose.
Not even feel it. If they wouldn't have stopped that match for the bleeding, he would have just kept going.
Oh, right.
He's like, I don't care about any of that stuff. But yeah.
You guys can keep talking. I got to do it.
Yeah, take a pull off.
This is probably like Luke's third Banya today, right?
Yeah,
I mean, knowing him, dude.
Here all day.
Yeah. This is awesome, though, man. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we're glad you're here. You know what? I think what a lot of people want to hear about, especially our 12 listeners we have. Thank you very much.
Soon to be more.
Yeah.
Soon to be more.
Is just kind of how the foundation of Aries PV came about, and what you had to do to start it. Just the iteration of building the gym and so on. But I'd love to hear more about that.
So you mean how it actually physically became a gym?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm coming up on my 16th year of jiu-jitsu, right? So I've been doing this for a minute now, and I never when I found jiu-jitsu, I just loved it. It was kind of my therapy. It was my thing. Checked all the boxes, but I never thought about it doing this really until maybe like about 2018, which is maybe after my first year at black belt. I was kind of not loving the industry I was in. I came from the marijuana business, legal cannabis business, and I was kind of lost some passion for that. And I'm like, maybe I could do this jiu-jitsu thing. So what I did was, the first thing I did is I told Paul, my coach Paul Nava. I went to him because I was teaching for him. I was teaching for Ruben. I told those guys first, and of course they were disappointed because anytime you lose an instructor, it's hard to deal with. But I wanted to give him the respect of knowing ahead of time. And I waited a year before I opened my building. So I had a friend of mine, Eric Hutchins is his name, from Tucson, who's also a jiu-jitsu guy because, leverage your network. And I know all these jiu-jitsu people, right? So, and he was driving me around looking for spaces. And it's funny how we found this space. We were on our way from one space to another space. And he just saw a sign off the side of the road. And he was like, let's go look at that. And it was the baseball building. It was the guys on the corner, and it was way too big. That's a cool space, but it was giant space. But then he looked around the corner and he's like, "Well, what's that?" And then we looked in there and we're like, "Whoa, what is this place?" And so I got to give him credit.
Yeah.
And then we
probably get a deal too because that place isn't it's very hard to find.
I got a deal.
Leverage that.
I got a pretty good deal on it. It was empty for several years, so they were stoked to get it filled up. And so I found a spot, I signed a lease, and then, we just built it out and had a really good relationship with the first landlord, who's since sold the property to somebody else who's super cool too. But, we built the space out to our specs, which didn't require much because my building, it used to be a pool for the fitness center next door. So the slab was filled in. It was a concrete slab and basically a rectangle. But what's amazing about it, you guys know this, but it has skylights. It's got 30-foot ceilings and skylights. So we have all these natural light that pours in. So people come in during the day, and they're like, when I tell them it's their skylights, they're like, "Oh, I thought these were LED lights because it looks so cool." You know what I mean? So
we don't even turn the lights on until sun goes down typically.
Yeah. So built a couple bathrooms and an office, and we were off and running. I just started running ads on Instagram and Facebook, put myself out there a little bit.
Oh.
The ads worked. They got me, and
people
who else
started
we were talking
coming in.
to? Todd, maybe I think saw it.
Yep. Yeah. I'm very glad this has been brought up. Where the pro tips at, dude?
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I was going a little crazy with the pro tips for a while, so I backed off. But I'll pick them back up, especially around the holidays.
All
right.
Did you get any negative feedback?
No, I never got any negative feedback. I think maybe just I think I didn't want to like overdo it or something.
Right.
So I backed it down.
Well, actually, I'll say this: like when I very first joined the gym, it was kind of like, what's the cult thing.
Yeah,
you got to get comfortable with what's going on. But,
for sure. But they're all. I mean, they're just things that happen to me in life, and I'm like, oh shit, maybe, especially if it's jiu-jitsu related. Then I wish somebody would have told me these things. So 100%. That's why I try to put it out there.
No, dude, it's super valuable. You gotta start doing those again.
All right,
if they're not a pain in your ass.
They're not. I just, that's good to hear. I got to hear this.
Well, you flashed a new ride in there too.
Pro
tips in the ride.
That's true. I just bought a new vehicle. First vehicle outside of my truck before this, which I had for 25 years. Thank you. Shout out to Toyota. That's right. So Jim's doing amazingly well, and life is good. I got a lot of blessings, and buy a new Toyota. So it is pre-owned.
25 years.
Might last another 25 years.
Let's, get those pro tips flashing, dude. I actually did. I said something to my wife. I was worried about you. I'm like, he's driving and doing these though. Like, at least get your lady in the side, like handling that for you.
For sure, I know. Or even just have it mounted instead of just holding
there you go. Yeah. Or just go to like a parking lot and just drive.
I never really
circles.
Plan them though. It's like when something happens, I'm like, boom, I just do it, and then otherwise I'd probably forget about it.
100%. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you don't want to be that psycho sitting in your bedroom writing down stuff to say.
Yeah, then I'd be like a comedian maybe or something. I don't know. I know what they do.
Actually, they might be punched up.
For you.
Yeah.
They might be funnier.
Trying to get shout out to Lyle. Trying to get Lyle to do a stand up open mic night, right?
Oh yeah.
Lyle gets on a roll, man, and he's like, he doesn't even really know he's being funny, but he's freaking hilarious.
Right. He's just like, he's like Kramer. He's a
little Kramer vibe, and he's going like all these different directions.
Yeah.
But
That's what I'm saying.
It's cool to see.
And nothing's gonna stop him up there either.
I don't think so. Especially if we were there to, you know what I mean, like hoot and holler and give him some good vibes. Yeah.
Where has he been?
He goes to the night classes, but not as much. He's had life be lifing sometimes, and I think that's what life. He had some challenges. And,
when life be lifing, that's what 6 a.m.s are for.
Yeah, it's such a good way to start your day too, man. Like when I was doing those Wednesday mornings with you guys, for that first year.
I wasn't there for that.
You weren't there for that? Oh, what a drag, man. That would have been cool. But I need to get back in there. But just start your day with that, man. It's like the whole rest of your day, you're like, okay, well, shit, I've grinded, and it's now 8 o'clock. Now what? Am I just crush life? So it's pretty cool.
I did have to dial it back a little bit though. Vinny was kicking my ass, and like I gotta work. Sometimes I gotta throw down,
Yeah.
Moving 160-pound kegs all day.
Yeah, that's a real job. I don't have a real job anymore. My job is now jiu-jitsu, which is amazing. I'm very grateful for that. But now, like I said in the beginning, I'm doing, physical therapy twice a week. I'm doing some personal training, functional patterns training with Wadis, and doing the PT with Greg. So like I'm doing the things that I know other guys that are still hungry in my division, my age bracket are doing.
Right.
And I noticed that not this past year because I couldn't compete, but the year before that, man, like those guys, they're in the best shape of their life. And listen, I'm in decent shape, but when you know what being in good shape is, and you're not there, it's a different level. RB and I were talking about that the other day because people are always like, Coach, I want to look like you when I'm 50, and I'm like, cool, but I don't like. I know I never really get like overweight, but like my conditioning's not there, my timing's not there, and I know what that feels like. So I'm excited to get it back. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I tipped the scales this morning, dude.
Yeah.
191 in the morning. That's nice.
Whoa,
I know.
bro.
Well, I've been doing a lot of like the slant board, dude.
Oh, okay.
So, what do you guys think? Is it all? Am I carrying it in my pants, or is it?
You are well.
You don't have much of a dog.
You don't have much of a dog.
No. I want stronger legs though. That's what I'm. That slant board, that stuff. All this body weight stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Very functional for jiu-jitsu. So
I was talking to Greg about that this morning, but I do a lot of things off the mat, which I wish a lot more people would do sooner in your jiu-jitsu experience because it's going to make you better and going to keep you healthy. But it's always been since I did this, I stopped lifting heavy weights almost the first year I started training, because I was like, I was kind of getting injured, and I saw a lot of guys getting injured, but now it's all just like body weight stuff, plyometric stuff, compound movements, jiu-jitsu specific training, and it seems to help. So,
Yeah, dude. I mean, so this was 20 years ago, so I'm giving everybody some breaks. But our strength and conditioning coach was the football guy.
Yeah.
So we're like, dude,
they don't know jack shit about the body, bro.
And the dude, he's an amazing human being, but his hips are blown out. The dude's just in horrible shape, and this is the guy.
And he's giving you the same advice that he did. I remember
what I did.
Literally, so I thought wrestling ruined my hips, but I'm pretty sure it was all that shitty, lifting.
We used to max out like every other day sometimes. Like, and if you were an athlete and you were an advanced PE, they called it, we would do either maxing out, or we would do 10-8-6 all out, and that's every day. And like, looking back on that, the only reason you could do that is because you're 17 or 18,
right?
But even then, it's not good for you.
No, it's
not
the
really
worst.
good.
That's why, and that's what I use your gym as. Like, so the Russians, right? They do a lot of their strength training on the mats.
Yep.
And so I just get there, like, I try 15 minutes early, and I just do a bunch of stuff, because, over a decade, that's all you need.
That's all
baby.
you need.
You know what I mean?
It's
just,
you don't really. It's an interesting thing too. And I'm not saying strength training is not going to help you. It does. It's good for bone structure and overall. The more muscle mass you have, if you get older, is better. But it's not the type of explosive movements that I use when I do jiu-jitsu. Like, it's I'm not blasting a dude off my chest. It's a smaller movement. I'm not like, so.
Well, I think we've hit a little bit of a wall. What do you say we jump in the cold punch real quick?
Yeah, let's do it.
Round it out.
Okay, let's go.
All right.
Let's get in there.
Can go forever.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Come on, you beautiful cowards. Let me just say, Cabay spanked us all, man. That guy could have just...
Keep going.
Coach could have just kept hanging out in here all night.
I kind of forgot.
I gotta call security and get him out of here. I need a couple beefy boys from Greywolf get over here ASAP. We need at least
I could just live in here.
10 guys. It's nice, right?
It's pretty awesome.
Can we talk about this for a second?
This thing is pretty awesome.
Yeah, we gotta give all the credit to Luke.
I would love some kudos, okay?
Dude, for real, this is a super cool thing to have in your backyard. And now that I know you're here, I might be hitting you up every once in a while too. Like, hey, bro, can I come roll through? Yeah, because I live a mile from here too. So this is awesome, dude.
We're in here all the time. Mike's hot or not.
All right, cool.
Get your buns over here.
I mean, I might just sit in that corner next time you guys interview somebody, and chime.
We're getting more mics too.
All right, let's go. That's cool.
Yeah, because Dana and I are being a little bit. We're about to make out. It gets a little close.
And you guys are doing multiples a day, so respect to you guys. I mean, I'm in here one time, and you're going to do it again with Kristen here in a minute. You're going to be in there.
Welcome to camp out. But we're trying to peel back on the double headers.
Yeah.
Just to give like a better quality experience for the.
Because you guys are pushing yourself, but that's what we started this with. Do hard things.
I mean, it's a lot of time for us, but we're good on the hard part. It's more like we do enjoy that fire talk we have. That's sometimes just the best part of it.
Sauna.
For sure.
We didn't even drink our tea. I messed up.
Missed
normally
the
guest gets a ceremonial green tea.
We could do that around the fire. But when the cool thing about podcasts, in my experience, is when you just make it a conversation, which you guys did. It's like in here, and it's easy to forget that you're in a sauna because we're having a conversation. Because usually I'm just gutting it out in the sauna, waiting for my mental bitch to be like, "You need to get out of here," But
I would be asleep by now if we were talking.
Instead, we're powering through 35 plus minutes. And
so this is awesome, man. Thank you guys.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Glad to have you.
Well, love you so much. You're a lot of people's dad, man. So
love you guys too, man. No, it's all good. I mean, I feel like that sometimes, but I'm a cliche in jiu-jitsu, another cliche in jiu-jitsu. The people say this all the time, but I just never stopped doing it, and it was really frustrating for me. It was really hard. I got my ass handed to me over and over and over and over again, but I just never quit, and it got so much better, not just on the mats, but in my life got better, and that's the thing I didn't really anticipate, and that's probably why I'll do this for the rest of my life, whereas before I kind of would bounce around from things. But this is it, man, because as we talk about in the gym, there's no way to learn all of jiu-jitsu in your lifetime, which is cool. There's always something new to learn and gravitate towards, and the experiences and the benefits that I've had in my life because of jiu-jitsu have been just amazing, and it continues to happen. So I can't, and we're barely 3 years into this thing with the gym. So,
dude, amazing what you've done in that period of time.
I was thinking about that too. With 3 years in and going from a sea of white belts to it's a sea of.
We got a sea of blue belts now. I know we had class last week, and there was no white belts. It was just all blue belts and one purple belt. So which is cool.
Oh, sorry, real quick, dude. There's a guy that's killing me in the 6 a.m. So he walks in, and I'm so sorry, dude. I love you. I can't think of your name right now. Tall, handsome guy, black hair, like a ponytail. He walks in just cool as a cucumber.
Yep.
His gym bag says drug money.
Okay.
Just like it's a huge black duffel bag.
Okay.
I don't know why, dude. It just kills me. And the dude he kind of just like came in and was just like his thing, not like joking around or anything. It's just
that's interesting.
Hilarious.
Is that recent?
Yeah.
Brand.
Yeah,
okay. I think I know who you're talking about.
Maybe a month in by now.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel terrible for not recalling your name because I roll with him all the time. He's an amazing dude.
It's all right. You don't have to remember anybody's name until they get a blue belt. I'm just kidding. That's another joke. No, we're not. We're just joking about that. Love you. Love the white belts. Love the white belts.
Heck yeah, they're fun, man.
But
cool. Yeah. So love you, man.
I love you guys too. Yeah, man. Let's keep working on it. Let's keep building this thing that. It's just kind of starting out. So thank you guys for being a part of it. Let's see 2025, big things.
Big things. So actually, before we sign off, we got commitment from Vinny. He's going to be competing in 2025. I know you want to and get back to it. So
yeah, I've been feeling really good lately, going to PT twice a week and with Waitus. I need to. I know I'm rambling, but one thing I need to kind of recognize is that. As much as I love to train as hard as I possibly can every day, that's just not smart for me to do anymore. My body can't handle it, and I perform better in competition if I train smart and kind of cycle back a little bit. And that's hard. It's a hard thing because I love it. I love to just grind and get after it and get sweaty and just work. But that's not realistic forever.
So I just called. This is like it doesn't even matter anymore. It was just for fun. I called my head coach at Purdue, and he was like the meat grinder guy. He was like the old Iowa style, just like we're walking into the NCAA tournament with 40 matches.
Jesus.
All just nails.
That's
so
crazy.
I called him. I go, dude, I've never had this conversation with you. I was too young and dumb to like think about this, but like. Most of the guys that go in there in All-American have like 20 matches max, Yeah. I mean, there's a few savages in there, obviously, but like, dude, you kind of just beat us to death a little bit, and like we were that kind of team. Like it was fun while we were doing it, but it was just stupid,
It's hard to perform in peak condition year round, and I know some guys try to do it. But it's tough, man. It's hard to do, But there's the flip side of that is like the intestinal fortitude and the mental strength that you get from pushing yourself past what you think your physical limits are hugely beneficial.
Yeah, there's a time and place for that though, and like for me, a lot of that, like in college wrestling, it's like your first couple of years, sure, open season, and then you got junior seniors, you got to kind of or whatever. So you're at that stage in your life where. You're not a white belt. You don't need that. That grind is important at the beginning, I think.
Yeah.
Blue belt especially, probably, right?
Yep.
And then you can kind of like start to take care of yourself a little bit more.
No, I don't. At this stage, it doesn't feel like I lose technique, but I lose timing and conditioning, and that's But it comes back pretty quick, and just keep training. It gets better
for sure
if you're starting out. So.
Boom, baby. All right, let's get the hell out of here.
Love you guys. This is awesome.
Boom. This has been another episode of the Banya.
Yeah, the only podcast brought to you from a hot sauna.
Ooh, that burned.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.